everybody's trying to tell me what is right for me.
There's a reason certain songs stop you cold the moment they come on the radio. One chord, one lyric, and suddenly you're not sitting in your car anymore. You're 17 again, standing in a parking lot, watching someone drive away. The 1970s did something no other decade quite pulled off. They turned heartbreak into an art form. The singers weren't just performing, they were confessing. And we felt every single word. Today we're counting down 20 of the greatest breakup songs of the 70s. Songs that made grown men cry in their trucks. Songs that women played on repeat until the needle wore down. Songs that are still just as devastating today as the day they were released. Whether you lived through this era or you're just discovering it, buckle up. Because this list is going to hit you somewhere deep.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine. We're opening with one of the most raw, stripped-down heartbreak songs ever recorded. Bill Withers was a factory worker who had never made a professional recording before this song.
She's gone. Ain't no.
He was in his early 30s. Most people would have called it too late. And then he walked into the studio and delivered something timeless. The whole track runs just over 2 minutes.
She's gone. Wonder.
There's barely anything to it, a few guitar chords, some strings, a simple rhythm. But what Withers does with his voice is something else entirely. He sounds like a man who has genuinely lost someone. Not performing sadness. Living it. The song captures that specific misery of loving someone who keeps leaving, and knowing they'll leave again, and loving them anyway. It's one of the most honest things ever put on tape. When Withers passed away in 2020, tributes poured in from all over the world. That's what happens when you tell the truth.
She goes away.
Frida Payne, Band of Gold. Just sneaking in from the dawn of the decade, this one set the tone for everything that followed. Frida Payne's voice on this track is remarkable, controlled, dignified, and quietly devastating. The song tells the story of a wife whose husband abandons her on their wedding night. She's left wearing her ring but has nothing else. No love, no explanation, just absence. What makes Band of Gold so powerful is what it doesn't say. There's no rage. There's no dramatic breakdown. Just loneliness dressed up in a beautiful Motown arrangement. And somehow that restraint makes it hurt more. Joni Mitchell, River. Most people know this one as a Christmas song. But don't be fooled. River is a breakup song wearing a winter coat. Mitchell wrote it during a period of personal heartbreak and set it against the backdrop of the holiday season.
I could skate away on.
Which only makes it more isolating. Everyone around her is celebrating. She just wants to skate away and disappear. Mitchell's guitar work on this track is deceptively simple.
Oh, I wish I had a river.
Her voice is fragile in all the right places. She doesn't ask for sympathy. She just describes exactly how it feels to lose love during the one time of year when you're supposed to feel anything but lost. It's been covered hundreds of times. Nobody does it quite like the original.
I can't forget tomorrow when I think.
Harry Nilsson, Without You. Fair warning, this one has destroyed people. Harry Nilsson didn't write this song. It was originally recorded by Badfinger in 1970. But what Nilsson did with it belongs in another category entirely. His version is an all-out emotional detonation. The orchestration swells. His voice climbs to places that seem almost impossible. And then it breaks.
You always smile, but in your eyes.
Right at the moment you need it to. The song is about someone who genuinely cannot imagine surviving without the person they've lost. That kind of desperate, consuming love.
Yes, it shows.
The kind that scares you a little. Nielsen won the Grammy for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance for this. Completely deserved. The Carpenters' Superstar. On the surface, Karen Carpenter sounds perfectly composed here. That was always her gift, delivering pain with a smile in her voice.
So sweet and clear. But
Superstar is about a groupie who fell in love with a touring musician. He promised to come back. He didn't. And now she's alone in a hotel room, playing his records, trying to hold on to something that was never really hers to keep. What makes this one haunting is Karen herself. She recorded this track while quietly battling the illness that would eventually take her life. There's a sadness underneath her performance that goes beyond the lyrics. Even if you didn't know her story, you'd feel it.
sounds so sweet and clear.
Can you mend?
Al Green, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? Al Green covered a Bee Gees song and made it so completely his own that most people forget it wasn't his to begin with. Where the original was polished and arranged, Green's version is intimate. It sounds like a late-night conversation. Like something you'd confess at 2 in the morning when your guard is finally down. His voice drifts and aches in a way that feels genuinely human. And the question at the heart of the song, how do you keep going when love is gone, never really gets answered. Which is exactly right. Because there is no good answer. The Rolling Stones, Angie. The Stones weren't exactly known for tender ballads. But Angie proved they could do devastating when they wanted to. Released in 1973, the song is a farewell to a love affair that has simply run out of road. There's no villain, no betrayal. Just two people who know it's over and can't quite bring themselves to let go. Keith Richards plays the acoustic guitar with a gentleness that surprises you every time. And Mick Jagger, usually so performative, sounds genuinely sad here. Whether the song was about a real person or not, the debate has gone on for decades. The emotion is completely real. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, The Love I Lost. Now we shift gears. Because not every heartbreak is slow and quiet. Some of them hit you like a freight train. The Love I Lost is Philly soul at its absolute peak. The strings are sweeping. The beat is urgent. And Teddy Pendergrass, Lord, that voice, sounds like a man who has lost something enormous and is only beginning to understand the size of the hole it left behind. This is breakup music you can move to, which might be the most 70s thing imaginable. Crying on the dance floor was basically a lifestyle choice.
I kept my husband. I got that sucker home and I beat the tar out of him. We got a whole bunch.
Dolly Parton and Jolene. Few songs in American music history match the storytelling of Jolene. Parton wrote it in about 10 minutes, inspired by a real woman she felt threatened by.
Ivory skin and eyes of emerald green.
She put herself in a position of total vulnerability, begging, pleading, and turned that vulnerability into something that feels like pure fire. Jolene endures because it's honest about an emotion most people are ashamed to admit.
Your beauty is beyond compare with flaming locks of all.
The fear of losing someone to someone better. Parton didn't dress it up. She just laid it out there raw and real. It has been covered by artists from virtually every genre. And every single one of them knows they're competing with something they can't quite top.
Is beyond compare with flaming locks of auburn hair with ivory skin.
Daryl Hall and John Oates, She's Gone. Hall and Oates don't always get the credit they deserve as serious songwriters. She's Gone is Exhibit A for why they should. Written after a painful breakup that Daryl Hall experienced personally,
Charlie for the imposition.
the song has a quiet desperation to it that sits underneath all the blue-eyed soul production. He's not just sad, he's unmoored. The person who left took something essential with her, and he doesn't quite know how to exist in the space she left behind. The harmonies between Hall and Oates on this track are extraordinary. Their voices fit together in a way that makes the grief sound almost beautiful.
She's gone.
Till the landslide brought me back.
Fleetwood Mac, Landslide. Landslide wasn't released as a single. It was buried on the Fleetwood Mac album as an album track. And it still became one of the most beloved songs the band ever recorded.
Down. Oh, if you
Stevie Nicks wrote it at a crossroads in her life. She was questioning her career, her relationship with Lindsey Buckingham, everything. The song asks whether she has the strength to handle the changes coming at her.
found you, but time.
It's not a traditional breakup song. It's something more complex. The grief of watching yourself change, of outgrowing something you still love, of not being sure the person you're becoming can carry the love you started with. The production is almost nothing. Just an acoustic guitar and two voices. And it's perfect.
Get older, and I'm getting older.
Tangled up in blue.
Bob Dylan, Tangled Up in Blue. Tangled Up in Blue is 5 minutes and 40 seconds of the most vivid romantic storytelling ever put to music. Dylan traces a love affair across years, across geography, across lives.
He had a job in Santa Fe, working in an old hotel, but he never.
The timeline shifts. The perspective shifts. You're never quite sure what's memory and what's happening now. And somehow that blurring of past and present captures exactly how lost love actually lives in our heads. Non-linear, intrusive, never fully resolved.
All the faces we used to know, they're an illusion to me now. Some.
It opens the album Blood on the Tracks, which Dylan reportedly wrote during the breakdown of his marriage. Whether every detail is autobiographical or not, the emotional truth runs through every line. Critics regularly list it among the greatest songs ever written. That is not an exaggeration.
Tie the laces of my shoes, tangled up in blue. If you see her, say hello.
Bob Dylan, If You See Her, Say Hello. Back to Blood on the Tracks for one more because you simply cannot do this list justice without it. Where Tangled Up in Blue is expansive and roaming, If You See Her, Say Hello is quiet and specific.
Slow, she might think that I forgot.
It's the song you write when the anger has finally burned away and all that's left is something that looks a lot like acceptance, but aches like anything but. Dylan asks mutual friends to pass along his regards to someone he's lost.
And I've never gotten used.
Just that she's on his mind, that he still thinks about her. It's so restrained, so dignified in its grief, that it's somehow more heartbreaking than anything louder could be. Two Dylan songs on one list, both completely earned.
She left that night, it still brings me.
Linda Ronstadt, You're No Good. Now here's a breakup song with a different energy entirely. Linda Ronstadt didn't come in crying on You're No Good. She came in swinging. This is a woman who has done the math, reached a verdict, and is done with the whole situation.
You're no good, you're no good, you're no good, baby.
The man in question is simply not worth her time. And she is telling him so clearly, to a groove that absolutely moves. The song went to number 1. Of course it did. Sometimes the most cathartic thing is not a slow, sad ballad. Sometimes it's a song that makes you feel powerful. Ronstadt's voice on this track is ferocious. She was one of the great voices of her generation and she proved it completely here.
Don't leave me this way.
Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Don't Leave Me This Way. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes make a second appearance, and this time Teddy Pendergrass is fully unleashed. Don't Leave Me This Way is desperate in the best possible sense. Overwhelming. It grabs you by the collar. Gloria Gaynor would famously cover this song 2 years later, and we'll get to her in a moment. But the original has a rawness that's hard to match. Pendergrass sounds like he means every single word.
Can't survive, can't stay alive without.
Bruce Springsteen, Backstreets. Backstreets is the hidden heartbreak at the center of Born to Run, an album everyone associates with escape and freedom. But buried in the middle of it is this 8-minute meditation on a friendship and love story destroyed by time and circumstance. Springsteen's narrator and his companion Terry grow up together, dream together, survive together. And then something breaks. The song never quite tells you what. It doesn't need to. Roy Bittan's piano introduction alone has reduced people to tears. And when Springsteen finally lets loose near the end of the track, something close to a howl, it feels like grief being expelled from somewhere very deep. This is one of the most underappreciated songs in the Springsteen catalog. True fans know. Nazareth, Love Hurts. Nazareth were a hard rock band from Scotland. Love Hurts was originally written by Budlows Bryant and first recorded by the Everly Brothers in 1960. And then Nazareth got hold of it and turned it into something enormous. The power ballad format suited the sentiment perfectly. Dan McCafferty's voice is weathered and world-weary in a way that gives the song weight it didn't quite have before. This isn't a young person singing about heartbreak. This is someone who has been through it and come out the other side with a very simple, very honest conclusion. Love is painful. That's just the truth of it. The song became a classic rock staple for a reason. It says something universal, and it says it without any pretense.
Sorry seems to be the hardest word.
Elton John, sorry seems to be the hardest word. By 1976, Elton John was one of the biggest stars on the planet. And this is the song where he stripped everything back and just sat down at the piano with something to confess. Bernie Taupin wrote the lyrics. He almost always did, but Elton's performance here is deeply personal. The song is about someone who knows they've caused damage and can't quite bring themselves to say the two words that might begin to repair it. It's a different kind of breakup song. Not about the person who was left. About the one who did the leaving. The one living with the knowledge of what they've done. That perspective, guilty, ashamed, unable to change, gives it a complexity that makes it stick. Fleetwood Mac, Go Your Own Way. By 1977, the members of Fleetwood Mac were living inside one of the most spectacular personal meltdowns in rock history. Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks had broken up. John and Christine McVie were divorcing, and Mick Fleetwood's marriage was falling apart. They went into the studio anyway, and they made Rumors, one of the best-selling albums in history. Go Your Own Way opens the album and sets the tone. It's Lindsey Buckingham's barely disguised message to Stevie, raw, angry, and undeniably catchy. What makes it fascinating is that Stevie hated certain lines in it. She felt they were unfair. And she still had to sing backup on the track night after night on tour. Art from Chaos. That's what Fleetwood Mac gave us in 1977. Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. We end where the decade was heading all along. After all the mourning. After all the longing and the quiet devastation and the songs played alone in dark rooms, here comes Gloria Gaynor with the only answer that makes sense. I Will Survive was originally released as a B-side. A B-side. The label didn't even think it was the main attraction. DJs started playing it anyway. Dancers and clubs responded to it immediately. And then the whole world caught on. The song is about someone walking through a door to find their ex has returned, and realizing with complete clarity that they have grown past needing that person. The fear is gone. The dependency is gone. What's left is strength. Gaynor was herself going through serious health struggles when she recorded it. She wore a back brace in the studio. The triumph in her voice is not manufactured. It is earned. I Will Survive became an anthem. For breakups, for illness, for survival of every kind. It closed the decade like a fist in the air. And it still sounds like victory. 20 songs, 10 years, and a decade's worth of human heartbreak pressed into 3-minute grooves on vinyl. The 1970s gave us something extraordinary. They gave us artists who were willing to be honest, who didn't hide behind production or pretense, who sat down with a guitar or a piano or a microphone and just told you the truth about what love and loss actually feel like. These songs didn't age. They couldn't. Because the experiences they're about never change. People still fall in love. People still lose each other. People still sit alone at night wondering how they're going to get through it. And somewhere, right now, one of these songs is playing. And it's helping somebody do exactly that. If this video took you back, even for a moment, hit that like button. It helps this channel more than you know. Drop a comment and tell us which song hit the hardest for you. Was it a first love? A last goodbye? Or just something you heard once and never forgot? Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. We've got more deep dives into the music that shaped generations, and the stories behind the songs that made us feel everything. Thanks for being here. And remember, the songs that break your heart are also the ones that prove you had one worth breaking. Take care of yourselves.